Hi everyone, welcome back to the Astrology channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kaylin, and today we're going to be looking at your August 2025 horoscope. This is a tropical Western astrological reading, and you can watch your horoscope for your ascendant, sun, and moon sign. However, if you've only got time to watch one horoscope today, then I would start off with your ascendant sign, which is also known as your rising sign. If you're wanting to see more astrological content and updates from me, please feel free to check out my Instagram and Facebook accounts. It's the same handle, which is Astrology. Without further ado though, let's get into your August horoscope. Hi Leo, Sun, Moon and Risings, welcome to your August 2025 horoscope. And if you're an August born Leo, happy birthday. So let's start off by looking at career and business. For the first 3 weeks of the month, both the Sun and Mercury will be in Leo in your sign, which indicates that you may be feeling very creatively inspired. And with the Sun in Leo, perhaps there are certain professional opportunities that are allowing you to showcase your leadership skills or maybe to take on some kind of challenge. Okay, so Mercury is actually in your sign for the whole month. It will be direct once more on the 11th of August. So the retrograde period for Mercury is the 18th of July through till the 11th of August. And ultimately, this can see you having a lot of ideas to basically sift through, and these can be coming through in a professional sense. These can be about your long-term goals and plans for the future. Maybe there are a number of opportunities for you to socialize and network in a professional capacity as well as a social capacity, but we're talking about career and business here. So because Mercury is retrograde through till the 11th of August, there may be certain projects, contracts, or documents that you are needing to go through with a fine-tooth comb. And it wouldn't surprise me if there are a number of edits or revisions that you have to make to certain bodies of work before you submit them or before you email them. And if you have some kind of project, deadline, launch date that is within the first 11 days of August, there is a high chance that that deadline will be pushed back, as is the nature of Mercury retrograde. And if you do have important meetings that are scheduled, whether these are online or in person, there once again is a high chance of them either being rescheduled or one person is late, or maybe there are just technological difficulties. I can share from personal experience as a double Mercury person that anytime I have my business meetings and client calls booked in Mercury retrogrades, the internet will go out, there'll be a power outage, someone will forget, when they booked or get the time zone wrong or whatever. So that's just something that you'll probably be contending with for maybe even up until late August, because that's how long it'll take for the post shadow period to conclude. On the very first day of August, the Sun will conjunct Mercury retrograde. So I'm flagging this with you as there may be some kind of brainwave or brainchild that you have where you're able to finally see the path forward with a work situation that may have been causing you to lose sleep, or you've just been unsure about how you're going to get something off the ground. So there may be a breakthrough moment here for you in the first 24 to 48 hours of the month beginning. On the 7th of August, Mars will enter the sign of Libra, which means it will transit your third house, and that will be until the 21st of September. So the third house rules over clients, co-workers, team members, and Mars transiting any given house indicates where we are putting a lot of our energy and effort, but it can also show where we may have to be extra assertive or where we may experience challenges or pushback. So Mars transiting your third house could indicate that there are maybe conflicts that could arise with co-workers or clients or amongst team members, even if it's not between you and them directly. Maybe it's like people that you sit next to who are at loggerheads with one another. Another way that this could play out is that you may be spearheading some kind of team project. So maybe you are appointed supervisor or manager or point lead on a project. So there could be leadership opportunities that crop up during this, how many weeks is it? 7 or 8 week period. Okay. On a different note, this could just see there being a new project that you are starting or getting involved in, maybe a new marketing idea, a new business that you are considering launching, or you're just doing the preliminary research. So you could certainly be very focused on anything to do with business ventures, communications, content creation, social media, website design, apps, app development, and so on and so forth. Between about the 9th of August and the 12th of August, there may be some issues that you need to work through, but there's absolutely scope for a breakthrough here. So what we're seeing is Mars in Libra in your 3rd house, opposing Saturn and Neptune in your 9th house, but Mars is also going to trine Uranus in Gemini, and it's going to trine Pluto in Aquarius. So long story short here is that there could be some red tape that you are encountering in a legal sense that relates to projects that you're trying to get up off the ground. This could be within your existing workplace, or this could be if you already own your own business, or maybe you're looking at a startup. So it could be that you are having to look at the legal parameters or rules and regulations, especially as it relates to import, export, anything that you want to get published, anything that involves foreign affairs. And in a professional sense, maybe it's possible that human resources will have to be involved, and there could be some level of mediation going on between you and a team member. Even if it doesn't involve you directly, it could be that there are maybe coaches that are coming on board who have been appointed to train your team or to walk you through some kind of professional development course. Okay, so on the 9th of August, there'll be a full moon in Aquarius in your 7th house at 16 degrees. Full moons are all about the ending of a chapter, the ending of a cycle, something reaching fruition or completion, or it can actually be something that is being revealed. The 7th house rules over contracts and our one-to-one personal relationships. So for some of you, this could look like the end of a professional contract, the end of a client contract or client relationship. Things could be a little bit tense between you and a coworker, or you and a client, or anyone that you are trying to sign contracts with. But I really do think that you'll be able to dispel the tension here, because Mars in Libra at the same time will be trining Uranus in Gemini, and Uranus rules over Aquarius. In any case, I do think that your problem-solving skills will be tested in some way, shape, or form. On the 15th, between the 15th and the 18th of August, Mercury in Leo in your 1st house is going to sextile Mars in Libra in your 3rd house. So this is very positive indeed when it comes to business negotiations, signing up new clients, any kind of campaign, sales, marketing, research, etc. And certainly you can overcome issues between you and co-workers, team members, or if you're in a school setting or an education setting, then you and fellow students and peers. Moving along to finances and property. So Mercury rules over your 2nd house and your 11th house, which are both money houses in astrology. So you could be thinking a lot about your current expenses, your income, but then juxtaposing that with well, what are my long-term goals financially speaking? What am I saving for? What do I want to be able to afford? And for some of you, this could be looking at retirement money or superannuation funds and whatnot. So you could be realizing that you have to make significant adjustments. And I say that because of the Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury will be transiting the degrees of 15 through till 4 degrees. And 4 degrees in astrology rules over property and living circumstances. So you could be rethinking your property and living situation. Am I happy here? Do I want to live here? Do I want to renovate, extend, etc., etc.? So this is something that could really be at the forefront of your mind between July and even the end of August, if not early September, because Mercury will be in Leo until the 2nd of September. So on the 12th of August, Venus, which rules over finances and resources in general, will form its annual conjunction with Jupiter. But this time it will be in the sign of Cancer, which is very auspicious. This conjunction only takes place in the sign of Cancer once every 11 to 12 years. So because it's occurring in your 12th house, there could be a really big financial expense that comes up or investment. Now, I do think that it would be something positive just because Venus and Jupiter are benefic planets in astrology. It's trining the moon and it is conjunct Sirius, which is a fixed star in astrology, which is very, very positive and, I repeat, auspicious. But still, it could be a really big expense or investment that you are making. On a different note, it could be that someone is helping you out financially speaking, because the 12th house rules over donations and it is associated with fundraising and charity and generosity. Not that Leos like to take handouts from other people, but it could just be that it's something that is very welcome and very needed in your life. So I repeat, that could be coming through around the 12th of August. On the 23rd of August, Virgo season will commence. So the sun will leave the sign of Leo and it will enter Virgo, and it'll be there for another 4 weeks. Also on the 23rd of August, we're going to have the new moon in Virgo occurring at 0 degrees in your 2nd house. And the 2nd house is related to finances and resources. So to me, it looks like there's a new chapter that is starting for you financially. So this could be generating a new stream of income, anticipating a higher level of income, maybe important financial decisions that you are needing to make. Now, it does have to be said that the new moon will square Uranus in Gemini in your 11th house, and Uranus is associated with surprise, shocking turns of events, and just things that are unpredictable, inherently speaking. So there may be something unexpected that comes up for you financially, a bill, a payment that you need to make, or maybe an investment opportunity. So you could have an opportunity to procure a certain resource or make an important investment decision or financial decision. But again, the square to Uranus indicates that it could come out of left field, or there could just be certain trade-offs that you need to make in order to capitalize on this opportunity. And look, it's a new moon in the 2nd house. So new moons are about setting intentions and planting seeds. For some of you, it could just be that you are setting a new financial goal for yourself. Every month I want to save X amount, or I'm saving up to buy X, as an example. So shifting gears, let's talk about family life and home life. So with Mars transiting your 3rd house, again, this is from the 7th of August through till the 21st of September. This is activating the house that rules over your siblings and extended relatives. And this is actually activated in quite a big way because Mars is making so many aspects. You know, it's opposing Saturn and Neptune in Aries, and then it's trining Pluto in Aquarius in your 7th house, and it's trining Uranus and Gemini in your 11th house. So to me, it looks like there are highs and lows that are coming up with your relationship with your siblings and or certain extended relatives. Yes, arguments and discord can absolutely occur. It can flare up, but because the opposition to Saturn and Neptune is flanked by these beautiful trines, I do think that there is scope for basically mending relationships, okay? Burying the hatchet, fingers crossed, right? So Mercury is retrograde in Leo in your 1st house. Mercury rules over siblings, okay? And it will be transiting 15 degrees, which is the Gemini degree, which rules over siblings, and then it will go direct at 4 degrees, which rules over family. So to me, it looks like there are important conversations that need to be had with certain family members. And if you've not been on talking terms, then, you know, there is an opportunity here for you to maybe smooth things over or somehow get back onto talking terms. And look, you know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. For some of you, it could be that you don't want a relationship with your sibling, they don't want a relationship with you, but there is some sort of reason for which you need to communicate. Maybe it's about your parents, maybe it's about a will or inheritance money. So there could be something that necessitates you having a conversation. Just wanted to park that with you because obviously this is a general reading, so things can play out in different ways. Now, on the 9th of August, there'll be a full moon in Aquarius at 16 degrees in your 7th house. So pretty much most of the month of August, you are under the influence of this full moon because the energy can be with you 1 to 2 weeks before and 1 to 2 weeks after. So 16 degrees is the Cancer degree, which rules over family. So again, there could be important conversations about family. There could be important decisions that need to be made about your family or on behalf of a family member. And this could involve legal discussions, official documents or contracts being signed or drawn up. So I do think that on a family level, things will start to ease off and improve more towards the end of the month. So what we're going to see is Venus entering Leo from the 25th or the 26th of August, depending where you live in the world. And from the end of the month, Venus is going to be trining Saturn, trining Neptune, sextiling Uranus, and to be fair, we'll be opposing Pluto. But nevertheless, just those last 4 or 5 days of the month, I do believe that there can be breakthroughs with family members, with important conversations, or at the very least, just knowing where you stand, even if that's a case of like, okay, maybe we're not going to be talking, at least I have closure though, and I know where things stand with this person, with this family member. Okay, so moving along to love and relationships. Well, having the Sun, Mercury, and then Venus in your 1st house is very, very positive. So generally speaking, when it is our season, so if you're Leo during Leo season, you can be feeling like you are more creative, more attractive, and then having Venus here as well from the end of the month would certainly be amplifying that. So Leos during Leo season, just, generally speaking, seem to feel more magnetic. They feel better about themselves. They're more creative in business and in their personal life. And, this can also see you having more confidence to maybe be bold, to ask someone out, to try and move the needle forward on a casual relationship and see if the person is interested in taking things further. So Leo is ruled by the sun. Leo rules over the heart and wearing your heart on your sleeve. So there can certainly be some important conversations where you're being honest about your feelings, or maybe another person is being honest about their feelings with you. To be fair, because Mercury is in retrograde until the 11th of August, there could be moments where you end up talking to an ex. Look, if you are on again, off again with someone at present, or you don't know where things stand, Mercury retrograde in Leo is actually really, really positive for just having clarifying conversations and deciding once and for all, are we actually going to give this a go and, try and get into a relationship, see if we can make it work? Or am I walking away from this person because I've realized that they're not for me and that I deserve better? Okay, so on the 9th of August, there'll be a full moon in Aquarius in your 7th house, which I've already mentioned. So around the full moon could be the moment where you have these groundbreaking conversations in your relationship or with someone that you are interested in, romantically speaking. So you could be getting to the truth or the root cause of why things are the way they are, how this person really feels. Or if you are in a relationship, then it could be very illuminating to understand, where are we taking this relationship? Are we committed to each other? Are you interested in moving in or having a family or getting engaged, married, moving abroad? These important kinds of conversations could be happening with your significant other if you are already in a relationship. Now, on the 12th of August, Venus will form its annual conjunction with Jupiter, and this time it'll be in the sign of Cancer, which I have already mentioned, because it's occurring in your 12th house. Because Venus rules over love and romance, and Jupiter rules over your 5th house, which again is love, dating, romance, etc., actually great healing can take place between you and your significant other. So you can feel like you're truly intimate with your partner or your significant other. For others of you, maybe you're finding out the depth of someone's feelings for you. Now, if you are single, then this could actually be a poignant time where you cut cords with that person. You may want to Google that. You may want to do a cord cutting meditation, or maybe you are just experiencing profound healing and release from a previous relationship that maybe was abusive or traumatic in some way, or maybe they just broke your heart even if there was no trauma or abuse. So I do think that it's a very powerful time for letting go and for healing. And lastly, Leo, in terms of other things to mention, which I didn't really put into any one category, for pretty much the whole month, we're going to have Saturn and Neptune in Aries in your 9th house, and they are going to be sextiling Uranus and Gemini in your 11th house. So Saturn and Neptune are as close to conjunct as they will come up until February next year. So this is really about your vision for your future. And this could be in a sense that doesn't involve what you currently believe is possible or feasible. So maybe you're operating within the realm of hypotheticals here. If I could have any job, what would it be? If I could live anywhere, where would that be? If money was not an object, if that was not a concern for me, how would I design my life? What would I want my life to look like? And so you could be having really illuminating downloads, or maybe even conversations with another person that inspire you and motivate you to try and find a way to make this a reality. And the fact that Saturn and Neptune in your 9th house are going to sextile Uranus and Gemini in your 11th house indicates that there is a way. There's a way. And you will have access to incredibly innovative and ingenious ideas that will allow you to ground these seemingly lofty goals and visions for your future into reality, into a step-by-step plan of, I can achieve this and this is the way. So Leo, that's all I have for you for your August horoscope. If you enjoyed this video, can you do me a favor and give it a thumbs up? If you'd like to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more content from me in between these horoscopes, you can follow me at Kastrology on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the rest of Leo season, and I will see you guys next month for September horoscopes.